Hi everyone. This is Bumsoo Kim from Konstellation Network. Uh, First of all, I have to say that I have huge respect for everyone here who has devoted your precious time for this hackathon, and it's my true pleasure to be able to present our project in front of you passionate engineers. So we are also a team of passionate builders, and we constantly build things to solve some important problems, and we improve them through repeated trials and errors with the spirit of BUIDL. So in this presentation, I will introduce what we do, and hopefully you will find them interesting. In this presentation, I will first tell you about our motivation to develop our own mainnet, and then we'll also have a look at our ecosystem project, and then finally there will be our roadmap for mainnet development. So first, Konstellation Network. Konstellation mainnet is a layer 1 blockchain protocol developed with Cosmos SDK. So our vision is to create a global and scalable infrastructure for finance users and industry. So many of our members have backgrounds in finance industry, and we've ourselves encountered like many inefficiency and inaccessibility issues ourselves. So these kind of experiences like motivated us intensely, and so we are trying disrupting finance field and making real world impact using blockchain technology. So probably most of you would simply easily agree that the consequences of blockchain development would be so big that in the near future, like it will change the everyday lives of normal people. However, like it's still true that the vast majority of people in the world have not experienced tangible impact of blockchain. So to them, the promises of Web3 innovations such as decentralization, trustlessness, and composability could sound somewhat far-fetched. So our approach to the problem is to simply provide a bundle of applications and infrastructure all together, rather than providing only a single piece. So since we are still in the early stage of blockchain development, for normal users, like combining different pieces of features on their own to use some DeFi like features could be painful, and they may find it hard to find any utility. But by providing a whole package, we believe it becomes a lot easier to appreciate the true value of blockchain technology. But it goes out without saying that Konstellation Network will still work as a key actor in this ecosystem. So the current near-term vision of Konstellation Network is not very difficult to understand. Our goal is to provide one asset type with maximum interoperability, which is dark. So we aim to make it liquid and accessible from anywhere a bit can go. So yeah, so this may sound too simplistic for some of you, and some of you may see as a special solution for some special problem. But actually, we believe our approach can solve a wide range of problems when properly configured with existing solution in each blockchain. So for example, with Dark being interoperable, it's actually possible to implement general cross-chain swap features by combining DEXs on each chain. So we have a step-by-step plan for improving the bridging feature. The first being connecting to Cosmos blockchains, the second being bridging heterogeneous blockchains, and the third being bridging Web 2 and Web 3 world. So the details of them will be discussed later in this presentation. Now, Konstellation ecosystem. Again, we are an ecosystem builder who is working both on infrastructures and applications for end users. So with the Konstellation ecosystem, users can easily invest in digital assets spread across various blockchains, and users can mint a wide range of fiat-pegged stablecoins, and users can explore different NFT trading chances, and they can also participate in a play-to-earn game and DAO. So let's see more details of each. So first one is Tabit. Tabit is a decentralized forex platform powered by a multi-currency stablecoin protocol called Archimedes. So basically, forex is the largest financial market in terms of daily trading volume, but it hasn't largely been connected to the Web3 world yet, I will say. So forex market is huge because the need for trading local currencies is always there. And we think that will be similar in the crypto market as the industry make more real-world use cases. Tabit will offer various forex-related products like futures, options, CDFs, which are similar to perpetual futures in crypto. Yeah, and now it is being built on Solana, and it's currently available on DevNet. Archimedes Mint is the first multi-currency stablecoin mint protocol with a shared collateral reserve. It is based on both endogenous and exogenous collateral by utilizing native hybrid algorithm system. So it practically means that when you are minting some Archimedes stablecoins, you need to provide both Archimedes algorithmic coins as well as some USDCs. Archimedes' vision is to ensure that any new stablecoin associated with an existing fiat currency can be minted utilizing a single reserve. And we still want the new stablecoin to enjoy the same level of stability as the other existing stablecoins. So that's what we are trying to achieve. And so I have to also make a note here that there is a strong virtuous cycle between Tabit and Archimedes. So to become a useful stablecoin, there should be large enough demand for the stablecoin. In our case, Tabit is the first significant use case of multi-currency of Archimedes, and Tabit users can trade with their own local currency stablecoins. And also, strong derivative market will have a reinforcing effect on the spot market. So in this sense, deep spot market liquidity will naturally result in more trust in the system in Tabit. And as mentioned before, we believe local currency stablecoins and the forex market will be an essential building block for expanding the Web3 industry for the world. And the next one is carbon credit trading platform. So under the 2015 Paris Agreement, many countries agreed to cut greenhouse gas emissions in order to stop increasing the global average temperature. In carbon credit, there is the mandatory market where companies trade credits generated under the government's control. But there's also the voluntary market that is getting more and more attention, in particular after the Paris Agreement. So carbon credit is one of the most promising asset classes, but it lacks an organized platform where participants can effectively invest in the various carbon reducing projects in different stages with different risk profiles. It is also beneficiary to the credit providers as our platform is a new source of capital. To attract qualified carbon credit projects and design a platform in a manner that market participants actually desire, we started a partnership with an expert carbon credit issuance agency. Our project team is building a sophisticated verification and classification system to provide qualified and reliable carbon credit. And finally, VegaX. So VegaX is one of the our most successful project and is one of a digital asset management company creating a investment product for medium and large scale investors. Our main target clients are people with relatively little experience with the Web3 technology, but still wanting some crypto exposure. In particular, VegaX makes crypto portfolio management easy by offering well-structured investment products like covered calls, enabling the clients to significantly improve their returns. Our strategies are based on the indexes we design. This kind of approach is actually quite popular and common in traditional finance, but this is something that's still largely missing in crypto world. So each index reflects a certain sector well, and it helps our users make systematic and principled investment decisions. Currently, VegaX is mostly relying on CeFi services since they have the most rich set of assets and largest liquidity at the moment, but we are also exploring new realms such as DEXs and non-custodial on-chain asset management using smart contract, which will be discussed in our roadmap too. So yeah, up to now, we've explored some of our important ecosystem projects, and we believe each project has its own strengths. But at the same time, each of them induces synergy within our ecosystem too. And Konstellation Network will contribute to the whole ecosystem by providing maximum interoperability and governance features through a dark token. And it will work as a important bridge. Yeah, final section is our roadmap for our mainnet. So the first phase of our roadmap is connecting Konstellation Network to other Cosmos-based blockchains. Please keep in mind that one of the main goals we wanted to achieve with Konstellation Network was to use it as a scalable bridging solution. So why does it make sense to use Cosmos-based blockchain for cross-chain bridging IBC? So yeah, but one thing that is obvious is when you're developing with Cosmos SDK, IBC is basically enabled by default, so you can conveniently connect to other networks, Cosmos-based. Also, deterministic finality of Tendermint was another important consideration. Bridging two heterogeneous blockchains is a pretty complex task, and having a ledger with deterministic finality for the bridging significantly reduces development effort. And so it makes a lot of sense to use Tendermint to build a bridge, I would say. And if Konstellation Network were based on probabilistic finality ledger, then the entire process should always be probabilistic, which makes it tricky to cover all edge cases. And finally, the fact that various financial functions can be added through smart contract or upgradability during the bridge process was an important and attractive factor in our decision. And the rest of them are basically the common steps for developing Cosmos-based blockchains. So our mainnet is currently IBC enabled with Cosmos Hub, Osmosis, and Juno. And there are 70+ validators at the moment. And it keeps getting more decentralized. And we have developed our own Explorer and wallet. And the native token of Konstellation Dark has been listed in Osmosis, MEXC. And it made it much more liquid and easy to access. And this phase has actually been largely done. And of course, there will be, we are still planning to improve the existing features by connecting more Cosmos blockchains and by improving our existing features. And the second phase. So this phase is a work in progress, and please note that there could be some changes by the time we finalize all the feature details. So in this phase, like our main focus is bridging Dark to other blockchains such as Ethereum, Solana, Binance Smart Chain. Please note that we are not focusing on bridging assets other than Dark in the near term. This makes it like significantly easier to develop and audit because like we are only like bridging one asset and it's one thing to take care. But bridging only Dark does not mean that it is the only beneficiary for Dark holders. So it is actually almost quite easy, I would say, to combine Dark bridging feature with each blockchain swap features. So for example, if you have some USDC, you can first convert it into Dark and proceed with the bridging and then convert it back to USDC on some other destination network. So you can imagine that kind of scenario. Okay, now let's compare our approaches with some other popular approaches. The first thing we compare Konstellation network with is Thorchain. So most notably, Thorchain is a swap solution, not a bridging solution. It means that the kind of token you're sending is always converted into something else. So it's simply a different approach. And Thorchain mostly focuses on swap and AMM logics between different networks, and it has their own AMM liquidity pools, which makes their native token rune more attractive in a way. But at the same time, they are not utilizing the largest liquidity of each blockchain, such as the one in Uniswap. So in our case, we can simply rely on each blockchain's largest liquidity pools. And the other one thing we can compare is Wormo. So Wormo is a widely used bridging solution and is specialized network for low-level messaging interactions. So it is designed to bridge an arbitrarily many number of assets. But on the other hand, like we are only focusing on one asset. So it's different. And Wormo is serving the purposes they were designed for well, I would say, but one limitation of them is that they are not general purpose blockchain with smart contract enabled. Also, it cannot utilize various features from different Cosmos-based blockchains through IBC. So this is a little detailed mechanism of our bridge functionality we are aiming to deliver in the end. So here we use Konstellation nodes themselves as relayers. The scenario is a user is sending Dark from one source network, which is not Konstellation, to a destination network, which is not a Konstellation network again. There is a port contract in each side of the networks, and the port contract has a right to mint or burn wrapped Dark when certain conditions are met. So once a user sends a token, let's say token X from a source network M to the port contract in the destination, to the port contract in the source network, then the asset is locked and the corresponding special logs are generated. And then the Konstellation network nodes listen to the logs and process the event with the financial functionality. A little detail omitted in this illustration is that technically there will be a separate event listener running independently to detect new logs for each node. An example usage of financial function could be pulling from the price oracle of osmosis to adjust the fee amount based on the information. So the process result is then signed by each node, and once there are enough number of nodes that confirm the bridging, Konstellation client collects the signatures and finally call the port contract instruction on the destination network. And the port contract checks if the instruction is valid and corresponding assets is finally unlocked on the destination network and sent to the user. And this is the final phase. So here we will provide some more long-term goals of Konstellation network, and this phase is actually not just about breaching dark, one asset. So although Web3 is definitely a consequential innovation, Web3 alone cannot solve every problem we have. Human beings have accumulated a large amount of legacy in the Web2 world, and there will be a lot of things that can be handled better in Web2. So yeah, also like connecting Web2 and Web3 is indeed technically challenging, but we should also take care that this is not only a technical problem, because like it will require cooperation from the Web2 actors. One of the things we want to achieve in this phase is connecting real-world assets into blockchains. That is, of course, a daring challenge, and we are still open to many different approaches. So we can either try to make Dark to have real-world use cases, and we can also implement native swap features between Dark and fiat currencies. Whatever approach we take, there are some conditions that should be first satisfied. So there should be large Dark liquidity pool, and there should be some open access to Web2 transaction history data, and also like it should be possible to make a permissionless to make an order in Web2 in a permissionless manner. So these kind of things will require Web2 operators' help. Yeah, another thing we want to achieve in this phase is decentralizing asset management. So the promises of DEX are, of course, very appealing. And there are like still many good things about centralized exchanges still. They are working as an important fiat gateways, which means users can convert their fiat assets into crypto assets and vice versa. Also, there are like rich set of crypto assets available. So the question here is that, is there a middle ground between CeFi exchanges and decentralized asset management? So when you utilize smart contract, it's not very difficult to provide only trading strategies to the users without taking their custodies. So if a user only wants to use DEXs for his or her trading, using smart contract, this is not basically very hard. On the other hand, at the moment, there's no easy way to trigger orders on CeFi exchanges from any blockchain using smart contract. So our ultimate goal is to develop a general purpose general standard for triggering CeFi orders from blockchains, and let CeFi exchanges can easily use the standards to connect our blockchain to their service. This, of course, will require active cooperation again from Web2. Anyway, we believe our end user can enjoy a variety of high-performing strategies for many different use cases by using decentralized asset management solution of us. And this is the end of our roadmap presentation. Oh. Sorry, I was lagged. Yeah, and here is our team members. And there are actually many more members that you are seeing here. And we have many members from different industries and different places from all over the world, basically. So if you're seeking a work environment where everyone is an active builder and everyone is not afraid of learning through trials and errors, and if you are seeking on where diversity is respected, I believe Konstellation Network would be a perfect fit for you. And if you're interested, feel free to reach out to any of us. And yeah, this is the end of my presentation, and thanks for listening.